The purpose of this tape is to review the function of the Siemens SV300 ventilator control panel. The control panel is divided into 8 fields. Each field has related knobs grouped together. These 8 fields include the patient range selector, airway pressure, mode selection, respiratory pattern, volume, oxygen concentration, alarms and messages, and pause hold. First, however, let's look at the lights and knobs on the control panel. The only green light on the panel indicates the ventilator is plugged into the power supply. The red and yellow lights can either steady or flashing. A flashing light calls for action, while a steady light shows that an action has been taken. In the alarm section, for instance, a red flashing light indicates a high priority alarm requiring your immediate attention. A steady yellow light indicates that you have corrected the alarm condition. A flashing yellow light near a control knob is a request to set the knob to a value. Displays on the control panel have red or green numbers. Green ones show values you have set, while the red numbers show values being measured. The control knobs most important to patient safety are red. The scale areas you should use with caution are also red. Green scale numbers indicate initial values that you will adjust to each patient's individual needs. There are 3 different types of knobs in the control panel. First, knobs with safety catches. To operate a knob with a safety catch, turn it until it stops at a black dot. Then, press the center of the knob to move it past the dot. Knobs without safety catches can be turned in either direction. And finally, spring-loaded knobs, which return automatically to a middle or neutral position when you release them. The control panel also has light-sensitive touchpads. Cover these lightly with your fingertip to bring up alarm messages, or to use the SPG, the set parameter guide, which we'll cover when we discuss the second field. Right now, let's look at the 8 fields. The first one is the patient range selector, which has 3 positions: adult, pediatric, and neonate. This setting adjusts 4 major components of ventilation to each type of patient: the continuous flow during expiration, the maximum inspiratory peak flow, the maximum measured tidal volume, and the apnea alarm time. The second field on the control panel gives you a choice of 8 modes, 3 for controlled ventilation and 5 for supported ventilation. The selector switch also serves as the on-off switch as well as standby. We'll cover each mode in detail in a separate tape, but right now let's discuss SPG, the set parameter guide that takes you through the setup procedure. This is a particularly helpful feature of the SV300. To use SPG, place the knob in the mode selection field to standby. The steady yellow light in the touchpad indicates that the ventilator is warmed up and ready to use, but no mode has been selected. That ticking noise you will hear is a caution sound, alerting you that the inspiratory, expiratory, and safety valves are all closed. Now, cover the touchpad for any mode lightly with your fingertip. Let's use pressure control as an example. When you do this, the yellow light by pressure control flashes. The steady yellow light appears at all the knobs needed for this mode, allowing you to review the parameters you need to set. Next, cover the pressure control touchpad a second time. Now only one yellow light is flashing, the one in the patient range field, the first knob you need to set. Now, cover the pressure control touchpad again. The patient range light goes out, while the light for the second parameter you need to set starts flashing. If there is a display window or bar graph related to this knob, it lights up also. Proceed in this way through all the settings, covering the pressure control touchpad in between each one until you hear 4 beeps. That sound tells you the SPG for this mode is complete. To select the mode, turn the knob to that mode. If you need to cancel SPG at any point during the setup process, cover the standby touchpad. The third field on the control panel sets airway pressure. Use the top knob to set the upper pressure limit between 16 and 120 centimeters of water. Notice that the knob is red because it is important to patient safety. It also has safety catches at 60, 80, and 100 centimeters, and the scale is red above 60, indicating a caution area. For patient safety, always set this limit as low as possible in all modes of ventilation. The limit you set appears on the airway pressure bar graph as two pair of diodes. Read the limit at the level of the lower pair. If the limit is reached, or if you set it above 100, this pair will flash. On the bar graph, notice that the diodes on the left are always red. Those on the right are red from 100 to 60, yellow from 60 to 40, and green from 40 to 16. This helps you check levels at a glance, even from a distance.